We'll take a look at the Metal Gear Solid 3, or Metal Gear Solid Delta as they call it for Snake Eater. Look, I believe they're going to make it visually stunning. What is really going to make it or break it is how well they keep the story to the original. The original, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Keep the script the same, the characters the same, the scenes the same, like keep it all the same. If it's just a remake with a new engine, new graphics, improved gameplay in terms of reliability, stability, and everything, and thank you for resubbing, Kai. Thank you, kind sir. It'll be fine. If they start messing with the dialogue, if they start messing with like the gameplay, the boss fights, they're gonna F it up. They're gonna F it up. Konami cannot be trusted to make a game. We've seen what they've done in the past. All they gotta do is color between the lines. And from what I'm hearing from the Metal Gear Solid, like re-release or whatever it is, they've effed it up in multiple ways. Because the pirated versions or the ported versions, because up until now there hasn't been a PC version of certain games. But the emulated versions of the games, which is like a PlayStation 2 emulator, runs better than what they released like a week ago on PC. So the emulated PlayStation 2 versions that people have been playing illegally work better than the official PC version they released a week ago. And it's so bad that they've got a website where you basically like contact companies to get review keys. I got a notification that review keys are open when it launched. And because of the negative reviews on Steam, they have stopped handing out review keys until they patch the game. So they're aware. So basically they just released it without testing it. Konami cannot be trusted to make a game. Color in between the lines. Do not change the story. Do not change the gameplay. Do not change the music. Do not change anything. Your job is to effectively upscale the game. Your job is not to make a game, because you cannot be trusted to make a game. You own the IP, so no one else can do it. Your job is just to upscale it. That is your job. You cannot be trusted with making a game. Like, legit. And some people out there will say that I'm, unreasonable in what I'm saying. And I'm not taking a stab at developers and programmers and things. But Konami has fallen out of grace so much that it's just like, Jesus Christ. And my fear is that they will cut corners wherever they can. And that was never the case when they had Kojima on board. Because that guy was editing the trailers that were used to announce the games himself to make sure it's perfect. Meanwhile, Konami will just like cut as many corners as they possibly can, to try to increase profits as much as humanly possible, which is just a travesty. It's just like effed. And the whole pachinko situation where they had Metal Gear Solid 3 in the pachinko game makes me feel that they're probably reusing a lot of those assets for Metal Gear Solid Delta. I just hope, it's just an interactive cinematic and they don't really do much. Because that would be better than them trying to modify it and effing it up. So, I pray to God they don't mess with it. Because MGS3 is one of those games that, pretty much sells the franchise if it's done properly. And then if it's screwed up, it's basically a nail in the coffin. It's like a nail in the coffin. Which is why they went with MGS3 instead of MGS1. Because they know it's going to be the easier one to succeed in. It's basically a sure thing. You have to actively go out of your way to make it not succeed. You have to go out of your way to make it not Game of the Year. It's a default win. You can only minus points. You can't add them. That's the thing. So, I pray to God they don't do much. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say, for the love of God. We'll put it on the little screen because Kuma. Put it on the little screen. Come on. Okay, this is... You know what? This already looks like the pachinko machine. I'm going to put it like this. I'm actually going to put it I'm actually gonna put it. I'm gonna put it like this, so we can have. This is already. This already looks like the pachinko visuals. Honestly, it does. First in-engine look. I have a feeling that it's literally the pachinko engine. No! I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're not Steve Irwin. Ain't no crocodile. And I'm pretty sure it's a crocodile and not an alligator. But, like, ain't no crocodile just gonna... Nah, that ain't happening. I know crocodiles can be chill unless you're disturbing them, but mate, you're walking right past it. Ain't no way that crocodile's not even gonna, like, go like, what the hell are you doing? That crocodile's like the chillest thing in the world. Gotta love the detailing though. Like the detailing is beautiful. I like how at the beginning they're like, this game might be rated R. And it's like, yeah, that really depends on whether or not you kept a certain something that we may or may not see in about 5 seconds. Peripheral vision, do you have it? No peripheral vision found. This bridge is fun. If you actually cut all the cables, it swings like crazy. So the more cables that you cut, the more it swings. That's how far out of the way Kojima went to make these games good. In MGS2, which was released in the year 2000, if you actually shoot a bucket of ice, it will flip, the ice will fall out of the bucket, and it will start melting in real time. That's how much detail these games had. That's like how far Kojima went to make these games as beautiful as possible. Man, that grip strength, Jesus Christ, I would not do that. Like, not because of the grip strength, but like a little bit of sword, just crack, you're gone. Oh, are we gonna see it? No, we didn't see it. Crab battle! Hey, here's a joke. American guns. Nah, you get them wet, they don't work. Oh, that's good. I like that. This is gonna be fun. Oh, what are you gonna show me? Unreal Engine 5. See, that's not a bad thing. Just license an engine that works. Kojima made the Fox engine for Metal Gear Solid 5. And that was a really good engine. But again, I do not trust Konami with anything. So I'm probably very happy, not probably, I am very happy that they outsourced the engine. Because I don't trust Konami with anything! Watch, it's gonna have microtransactions. You ran out of the suppressor. Would you like to buy another one for $4.99? Oh, you broke your no alert run, and you can no longer unlock the stealth camo if you finish the game without, you know, alerts. Would you like to reset the counter for $5.99? Man, how effed would it be if they have the game with no stealth camo as a reward for not alerting any enemy in the game? Imagine they're just too lazy to make it and they forget about the stealth camo. You know what would be effed? If they release the game and they don't know about the stealth camo because no one working on the project actually knows that it's in the game. Like, I would lose my literal shit. You are working basically on the Mona Lisa and, like, you don't know about the Mona Lisa. Like, who's Da Vinci? Like, it's technically a war crime. Well, it doesn't work that well in most games. I'm hopeful, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm definitely going to be comparing it to the original. It is just... The real thing is going to be, can you get the licensing for all the music and all the images that they used in the original, because that's what's really going to pull at people's heartstrings. When we streamed it a little while ago, it hit me like a frickin' truck. That's how good it was, all those years later. So if they can get the licensing, get the music, get it synced up properly, all those moments, people are just going to be on an emotional roller coaster. And then the people playing it and watching it for the first time are going to go through it again in high definition, for the first time. Whereas the people that have gone through it before would just be reliving it. It will be like rewatching something, and it will just be perfect the way it is. But then if they start playing with it, they use different music. Oh, no. So if they change anything, it's basically going to be a train wreck. It's one of those things. So fingers crossed, we probably don't have a release date anytime soon. But from this point, I could pretty much see the sections of the game that they are working on. But if they do have the enemies and the sentries and whatnot, then they've already started adding models in. They've added in a few animals and things like that. And then there's going to be all those systems in between. Because in the original, if you shoot a bunch of guards, those big birds that you saw, they will actually go and start eating the body. The scavengers. So the animals will actually start pecking on the body. And that's pretty much how you catch some of these birds, because there basically is an achievement, to eat all the birds. And if you catch a certain animal, paramedic will talk to you on the phone and whatnot. So if you want to catch one of these birds, what you do is you shoot someone, leave them out in the open, the scavengers come and start eating them, and you shoot the scavenger bird, and you basically, you have it. That's how you do it. So there's so many cool elements in the game that were really well thought out. The real question comes down to, how well does the development team that's actually working on this know the original? And if you don't, the simple answer would be play the original for like 100 hours and start doing crazy things and experimenting. Jump into the barbed wire fence which has electricity on it, knock on the door 20 times and see the guard open it and kick it open, and you get hit if you're standing in front of it. There's a lot of really cool things in the game. The real question is going to be how many of them does the development team become aware of? Certain doors you can open by blowing them up. Like the door's locked, but if you blow it up, it'll open. Or if you go and start knocking, the guards will open and things like that. There's a lot of really cool stuff. It's a really cool game. If you destroy the food storage, houses, the guards become famished, which means their aim goes down. They're more susceptible to sleep. Their focus goes down, They might fall asleep by themselves. They won't be able to see nearly as far away. They'll make more noise, stomach growls. If you destroy the ammunition depot, they'll have less ammo, less magazines to reload their guns. There's a lot of really cool things. Or if you explode the, food depot, they're hungry. And if you give them rotten food, they'll get sick. And if there's a bathroom nearby, they'll run to the bathroom. So one way to, stealth past guards is leaving rotten food on the floor where they're doing their rounds. And you know what I mean? There's so many cool things in the game. There's so many ways you could traverse the environment. I don't know. A lot of people are just going to go in with a gun and just shoot people in the head. That's fine. You want to play it like John Wick? I've done that too. You want to play it like James Bond? I've done that too. But there's so many really, really cool elements in the game that it would be a real shame if the remake simply doesn't have them. Being able to sleep deprive an outpost is a wild idea. It's really good, right? Let's not forget the day, the night, the vision that the enemies have in day and night, spotlights and things like that, right? It's really cool. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful, but I've been disappointed before. So I'm hopeful. I really am hopeful. And when I jump into it, I'm really going to be messing around with it, comparing it to the original. I think I'd have the little geckos. The little geckos that you shoot and they go... They can be used to alert enemies, but if you also shoot every single one of them in every map in the entire game, you unlock stealth camo. Yeah. Is it the game where the boss can literally die from old age if you wait long enough? Yes! That boss has 4 separate conclusions. Conclusion 1, you shoot them with a lethal weapon. Conclusion 2, you shoot them with a non-lethal weapon. Conclusion 3, you pretty much save and wait 2 weeks and he'll basically die of old age. Conclusion 4, you don't even have the boss fight if you kill him early enough. So there is a cutscene where you see him And at the end of that cutscene, he's basically being rolled in a wheelchair. If you pull out a sniper rifle and shoot him like 4 or 5 times, he will die there and then. And you've completely bypassed the boss fight. These are really thought out, cool elements of the game. It's like, what if I shoot one of the bosses right after the cutscene while he's on screen? You can do that. Unless you shoot one of the people that need to be alive later, you won't cause a time paradox. Even that was thought out. Like, it's really cool. Just don't F it up. Or just hire someone like me that's probably spent 300 hours on the game. Like, honestly, you need someone that's fanatical to be on the development team. That's what it takes. And even then, I'm not good enough.
The world was once one. We will heal that rift and make the world whole again. To do this, we need strength. An unstoppable trump card with enough power to bring order to the world. That trump card was to be the Shagohod and the Cobra unit.